Amelia, you doing alright over there? I know I'm sorry you're being attacked over there, but, I can't really tell these Native Americans to go away. They're not gonna listen to me. Welcome, everybody, to the Falcon One-Shot. On the agenda, we have Bounty Train here today. Now, this right here is an interesting little title. It reminds me a lot of FTL with a bit of Railroad Tycoon mashed into it as well. What's really neat about this game, it actually does follow the events of North America in the 19th century, where you have the entire railroad business blooming at the time. You have all the states coming together, so it actually does follow actual events, historical events in time, mind you. So if you are partially a bit of a historical buff, you might enjoy that as well about the game, which is, playing alongside as you make progress in the entire game itself. Now, I could sit here and talk to you what Bounty Train's all about, but instead let's get into the game and show you how it actually plays out. We'll go into new game. You have two different ways of playing here. You can play this in sandbox mode, which will completely eliminate the story portion of the game, or you can play with the story mode enabled, which is what we're going to be doing here today. Tutorial, I'll go ahead and click this off because I will explain to you what we're actually doing here. Let's go into start a game as Walter Reed. So, I guess they'll explain the story to you, so I won't do it myself, but I'll give you more of a run after they're done here. So we'll be talking to Jerome Cruz at the moment. I'm really sorry about your father's death. It was very unexpected. How did he die? I don't know too much, but it was a train accident. Killed on the same railroad he worked so hard to construct. It's sad, really. What did it leave me? According to his will, you get his wonderful train, an 11% share of his company, and $43,500 in cash. I see, this wonderful train. Well, let's talk business. After I get my money, I want to sell my shares in this train before boarding the first ship back to Britain. Your shares and the cash are waiting for you in Portland. Your father's lawyer, Jeremiah Sullivan Black, will make sure you get everything. Also, he wants to talk to you about a certain issue. What about? Don't worry, Jeremiah will tell you everything. I see. Thank you for your big help. I'm departing immediately. Farewell. Good luck. Alrighty. Hello, what can I do for you, young man? I'm Walter Reed. Nice to meet you, Walter. I have all the papers and money prepared, but there's more you should know. I'm all ears. As you know, your father had a 55% share in the National Pacific Railroad Company. They will build the first transcontinental railroad connecting the East and West Coast. Yes, I'm aware of this. Go on. Your father's idea was a route that would be short and cheap. However, his partner, Cornelius Tippeldernar, wanted a longer route that, unlike a short route, will go through Indian territories and will make him eligible for significant government aid. Tough luck for those Indians, or sounds terrible, I'm glad it's not my problem. So we'll go with the second one here. According to your father's will, the inheritance will only be available when the first transcontinental railroad is finished. He thought this would motivate his children to finish his life's work. Always a catch, huh? How long must I wait? I imagine the project will be finished in a month, correct? Since construction has not even started, it would be several years, maybe a decade. The shorter route, however, can be completed much quicker. A decade? You must be joking. What can I do to change the plans? You and your siblings each have 11% shares. Together, you will have the majority vote, and thus the power to change the track to the faster route. Alrighty. So that right there kind of gives you the entire rundown of why you're doing what you're doing over here. Now, let's actually talk about the UI. At the moment, we are in January 1st, 1861. We have about 11 influence and shares at the moment. We have $1,000 to our name. 12:20 p.m. We're in Portland. This is how much we're carrying at the moment. If you're carrying over the amount that you actually can carry, you will not be able to move. And the more weight you carry, the slower your train will actually move over here. Let me go over to the depot. Now, what's really cool about this game is you could actually buy different carriages, and all these will have different type of aspects to them. For instance, over here we have this carriage, which carries 2 passengers, meaning before we could actually get our siblings together, we want to upgrade our train, travel faster, get more money, upgrade our equipment as well, because we're going to be dealing with bandits and Native Americans and stuff like that. So you want to get money. In order to do that, you need to start doing a couple of jobs, because you are still a train that does indeed carry supplies and passengers. So with this carriage down over here, you could actually carry up to 2 passengers from one area to the other one. And over here you could carry 5 supplies, and over here you could actually carry 2 people hired for your party, in a sense, for combat and raids and stuff like that. And this will be our engine over here on this side. At the moment, we have $1,000, so we can upgrade if we want to, but early on, I would say just kind of stick with what you have here and go on from there. This will be another engine, which is the same one we have, so no reason to upgrade that. This right here, if we buy this, we'd actually be able to heal in combat, which is a really good thing to have, but later on, maybe once we get some more money. Here, this would actually let you hire 1 more person. Now, as you attach these, mind you, I'm not going to buy this, but as you attach these, they will be adding more weight to your overall pull. So in case you want to get a really big train that actually carries a bunch of carriages, you do need a better engine, because the one that we have at the moment can carry up to 7 tons. And that's the power right there, and this will tell you how much it actually pull, which is 36.2. What I like to do is go over to the supply one and grab a couple of upgrades with this one. Essentially, if you go ahead and add cargo slots, from carrying only 5 pieces of cargo, you'll be able to go up to 6, 7, and 8, based on the amount of money you want to actually invest in it, which is actually pretty cool. You could also, by the way, smuggle goods in this game, so if you add a couple of smuggling modifications, in case there's like a city that has to, like, say, a law against a certain type of item that you want to bring in, which, by the way, gives you a lot of money selling it there because of the whole ban on it, you can actually try to smuggle it with these items or these upgrades over here, and if you get by, you obviously get to sell it for a good high price. If you don't get by, you get caught and you get trouble with the law and you lose some respect with that city. It's really interesting when it comes down to that. But we don't really have that much money right now. I wanted to show you some of the building aspects. Over here in the market, you get to buy stuff. How this works out is you would buy it here at a cheap price. You find out exactly if it's selling for a better price elsewhere. And if it is, you go ahead and take it to that other area and sell it over there. Unfortunately, right now, since we just started, we have no idea about the market in Boston, New York, Utica, etc., etc. But as you start progressing with the entire game, you get a feeling for their market, so you could find out, tobacco over here costs me so little to buy, but I could go ahead to, say, Philadelphia and flip it for like 4 times the profit. So there you go. That's the reason why you want more cargo as well. Having discussed all that, let's go back over here to our hub, city hub, I guess. We should be able to get another person for our team for free, which I believe is August here. So August was a friend of our father's. He is down to join our crew for free. So we will say absolutely. We now have August into our party. Early on, I would encourage you to avoid combat. I'm going to show off combat just because I want to, show that for the video. But if you're doing a run, I would encourage you to go ahead and avoid combat until much later on, because most of the money you make is going to go back into healing your characters and also fixing your train from damage. So it's really advisable early on to just avoid combat. Over here we have Amelia that's going over to Boston, so if we take her to Boston, she'll give us $50. I'm going to say yes because I know for a fact we're going to Boston first, so might as well take her up on that offer. Graciano is saying Utica for 100? Maybe. So we have 1 passenger, we have no supplies, so let's go over to City Hall. And if they have a quest for Boston, we could pick that up and not only drop the girl off, but we could also drop off whatever mission have for us. And at the moment we have 1 for Boston, 2 pieces of alcohol for $90. And we are going there, so let's go ahead and say yes to this quest. Cool. So I think we've gone over just about all the basics here. Let's go over to Boston then. Now, to get to Boston, we have to buy ourselves a license over here, which luckily for us, this one only doesn't cost anything, so it's completely free. Boston's our first route. Over here, you get to choose how much coal you want to actually burn for this travel. And depending on the amount you want to burn, you'll travel faster. So if you're trying to meet a deadline and you want to go really fast, you want to do that, obviously. If you can take your time, use up less coal, you could go slower. But since we're just doing a one-shot over here, I'm not really looking at min-max. Let's go as fast as possible. And with any luck, we get into some fights here. Yes! All right, we're going to show you off the combat of the game as well. So I can get 1 attitude plus with them. That's going to be really important because... Let me pause here momentarily. You could actually befriend Native Americans and bandits as well, and actually get a really bad, reputation with cities, but that's obviously going to harm you as well. But if you want to go down the Native American route, the bandit route, you could actually do that as well. So it's up to you. This is really open in that way. At the moment, we have 3 Native Americans to deal with. I would not be surprised if they get some reinforcements pretty early on. So at the moment, we only have 2 fighters, August and Walter. So let's get August like maybe over here, and Walter over here. Let me zoom in a bit. Your train will take damage, so not only do you have to heal your people after combat, which will cost you a lot of money, you have to fix your train as well. So, as I mentioned, avoid combat early on. August, let's go after 35. Let's go at 29. Ugh, just bad everywhere, huh? Well, go after this guy, I guess. And Walter, you do the same. So this will run... Oh! Amelia took some damage right there. Amelia, can you get behind some cover because I don't want you dying. You will cost me a penalty and I'll get no money for delivering you to Boston in 1 piece. So you definitely have to get yourself safe here. There's abilities and items you could use in combat, but because we just barely started the game, we have no items. We could use something like grenades. Well, not grenades, because I don't think grenades existed back then. But you could use dynamite, and you could use med packs to heal yourself and to fly and stuff like that. So, we also have abilities. We'll talk about these here pretty soon. 19 and 16. Well, let's get closer because we're having really terrible luck getting any shots off. Walter, let's move you, like, say, over here. And August will move you like over here. Now your guys can take a knee, which will improve your accuracy, but it's also going to slow down your reload time. So it's kind of like a risk-reward system. But I normally go for it just because, you know, accuracy is something that really hurts early on. So Walter, let's go after guy behind rock. Same with August here. And I should be using, you know what? I'm going to start using my abilities now, so the cooldown time could be ready earlier than I really wanted to. So let's go after this guy. And you go after that guy. Alrighty. Now, assuming I had more people in my party, I could have somebody over here working the engine meanwhile, which would reduce the time that we need to flee. So for instance, if you're in a fight you feel you can't win, you could have somebody over here just kind of working away at getting the barricade out of the road, so you could essentially just escape. But we don't have that, and we want to show up the combat anyway, so... But that is an option in case you feel you cannot win this fight at all. Amelia, you doing alright over there? I know I'm sorry you're being attacked over there, but, you know, I can't really tell these Native Americans to go away. They're not going to listen to me. August, let's come down over here if you can. Start working on Homeboy. Let's see, our cooldown ability is now ready to go. Let's get you a bit closer to the action. You get some coverage on, because you could probably go all out over here. And what I want you to do is use your abilities now and just bring this guy down as soon as possible. August, same thing. And just let it ride. Careful there, Walter. You're out in the open now. Oh! He's down. Alright, cool. And we leveled up. We got 25 gold, and we got also 1 fur from fighting these guys out as well. And we got some experience for August and Walter. Let's continue over here. Now, we only got 25 gold. And as where I mentioned at the comment, it's actually pretty bad. Hold up, we have an event. You see a figure, as I mentioned, it's very FTO with the random events like this as well. You see a figure standing next to the road and waving his arms. You can stop the train and try to find out what's going on. This will take 3 hours. Let's go ahead and stop and see what they need. Simon Burks. My wagon is broken, which means I can't deliver textiles to Utica. Maybe you can do it. Please save my reputation. So I could go ahead and say yes. It would take me, the time limit would be 14 days to get to Utica. It requires 2 free slots, which we actually do have at the moment. And if we don't meet this this requirement in time, we will actually have to pay 340 ourselves. Right now we get 170 for going to Utica. I'm going to say we go ahead and say sure. Where is Utica from here? I believe it's past New York, so that's not too bad. And here we are now in Boston. Now, mind you, hospital is going to be to heal up our people, which we want to do. Remember, it cost us 20, or it didn't cost us, but we got 25 gold from that fight. Let me show you exactly how much it costs to get Walter completely healthy again. It costs us $35 for 1, but it also costs us an entire day, 9 hours for him to be healed up. So, not only do you have to consider money, you have to consider time, because a lot of your missions will be time-based. So if you are trying to get from one area to the other one, like, say, 10 days... stopping at the hospital for healing is going to really stop on that as well. And not just that, let me take care of August while we're at it. Not just that, assuming you've taken a lot of damage to your train and doesn't run anymore, you have to go over to the depot and get that healed up. And not only does it take time to heal your people, it also takes time to fix your carriage. For instance, right here, if I want to heal up this carriage for my workers, an entire day in 8 hours and $19 for repairs. So, as I mentioned, you definitely have to be really worry about the fights early on, because it's not really advisable to take them on just yet until you get better people, more money for equipment, etc., etc. But this should give you a good idea as to what Bounty Train is all about. Really, really fun title. I'm going to keep an eye on this one. I might cover it down the line as well. I really enjoy it, and this was more of a tutorialized, look at where I talk more about the mechanics, but I would really enjoy doing like a series on this where I just kind of like have fun with it, because there's a lot of fun to be had with this one, but obviously in a more of a free and easy type of video and whatnot. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. All the information for the game will be down below in the description. I will catch you next time.